Hello and welcome to another review video. Today we're going to look at the Roccat Nyth, but more than that we're going to see how it performs in Star Citizen. So I'm not sponsored or getting anything for these reviews, especially from Roccat. No special money's being given. I wish I was. But it does help me be quite brutally honest about products when I don't get anything for free, which is always good. And you've got to apparently say these things at the beginning of videos now, because otherwise people think you're embezzling all of the internet's monies. But so we have the Roccat Nyth, or Nyth, MMO gaming mouse here, and I'm going to see how relevant and how it performs in Star Citizen. So I really like Roccat in general with their designs. Let's get this box out of the way, because all it is a box with some stuff on it. We don't really care about the box. That's great, but we're all about the mouse here and this special little box. So in general, I really like Roccat designs. They're no frills. They're not too expensive normally. Simple designs. They do their job, and boom, that's it. That said, this Nyth, is actually quite expensive, being about £80 to £90 in the UK and $120 in the US. It's kind of their flagship model though. It's 12,000 DPI, so super laser mouse. It's got a braided cable. It's pretty damn rugged and durable. And this mouse has quite a nice bit of weight to it. It's not too much weight though to make it feel sluggish. It's everything you'd expect from a top-end mouse. But for me, the modularity that I thought was a gimmick is actually pretty awesome here. You have a case full of buttons and bits and bobs here that, I mean, you could take around with you, but you probably wouldn't need to ever. The case is maybe a bit excessive, but it's a nice container to keep those extra buttons in. So with that, you can change all of the buttons on the side here for lots of different buttons. So you could have any setup you wanted with multiple buttons. You could have 2 buttons here, 1 here. You can have a blanking plate like I put down here, or you can just have the big buttons, or you can have just loads of different things you can do. There's lots of different combinations that you can do. So you could have up to 12 buttons on there, or just 4 large ones, whatever. But it's got a couple of other buttons as well that are quite useful. It's got this rudder, bam, 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 and it's got this button here next to the mouse wheel, but we'll talk about them actually later. As I said, the carry case is cool, but I don't really think it's necessary. I have small hands, so if you've got small hands, you can just have the mouse like this. If you've got larger hands or medium-sized hands, you can take the side off, take this bit off, literally just pull it off really easily, and then put this larger side on, which is in the case, and now it's for someone with larger hands. Which is actually pretty cool. I like small mice. Small mice equal win to me. But it's literally just that easy to plop that on. The software, Swarm, that is used to control your mouse is simple to use. You do need to mute some of the functions in advanced settings though, because otherwise you get lots of different sound feedback, which can be quite off-putting. But you can use this to set various macros and settings on your mouse, and it's really simple. So to start off with, you need to tell this section of the software what buttons you would use. So if you put like whatever configuration you have in mind, you put that there, and you can then set the buttons here more easily. So it is pretty straightforward to use and to change on the fly. Also, setting up all this stuff in the DPI switcher is really important and worth messing around with until you're happy with it. Also, you get some cool, if you're into that sort of stuff, glowing features. So people are all about lights nowadays. You can set breathing for your mouse and lots of other different light modes. You can select whatever colour that you want. I'm not a massive fan of features like that. I don't care what my mouse looks like, as long as it does its job. The general placement of buttons and the feel of the mouse for me is actually really great. On the top, you've got the rudder, as well as another button just by the mouse wheel. Now, for the rudder, when you can remember to use them, because I haven't developed the muscle memory necessary yet to use them all the time without going, oh yes, I have buttons on my mouse. But I have the left press as going shields all to front, and the right press of the rudder to shields all to rear, and the number 6, the other button near the mouse wheel, I have is just a DPI switcher. It's really actually quite useful, and once I get better with the mouse, I actually see them being real big time savers. literally to change these buttons, you need to pull the little switch at the back here, and then the buttons will literally just fall off, and then you can just pop them back in. Now they are all numbered as well, so this is number 7, which goes here. Literally just click in, and this is number 1 that goes here. I'm not sure even why I checked to see which number it was, because it can only possibly be in one place. And then they just fit in like that. Bam! Really nice and easy and simple. So let's talk about performance in Star Citizen. The mouse is certainly precise. I have a notably better aiming experience when targeting Vandal and players alike. Well, at least I'm more able to consistently track shots onto them. And with the switching of the DPI in different ships on the fly that I can just do bam, bam, bam really quick and easily, it's really quite good for changing from like an Aurora with a high sensitivity and then being able to go into another game straight afterwards in a Gladius and being able to switch the sensitivity down. As I was playing, I was constantly changing my buttons and both what the keys were doing or bound to, and quite literally moving the buttons around with this mouse. This kind of functionality and ability to do this is really essential for me with the multi-genre nature of Star Citizen, where you will constantly be changing from ship to FPS combat. Spending a little bit of time with this mouse, getting all the setup correct, getting the buttons in the right order, doing exactly what you want, and actually thinking about some of the cool stuff you can do for that when you're changing from first-person shooter to ship and back and forth. This mouse is just great for that. Now, I haven't been able to try Star Marine, obviously, to test its suitability for the Star Citizen FPS, but I have been playing a lot of Natural Selection 2 and Killing Floor 2, and the buttons, weight and precision of the mouse are all amazing for my needs. Though, at first, I was misclicking the side buttons, and it did take me a couple of hours to get used to, and I'm still not really using the rudder or the DPI switcher button for those FPS games. Moreover, I noticed that I didn't really get a sweaty hand like I occasionally do with some high-paced action games on different mice, and this also led to the mouse staying a lot cleaner. The Roccat Nyth is expensive, but it is the best mouse I've ever used. The modular nature and quality of the mouse mean I feel confidently future-proofed for the release of Star Citizen, and that this mouse will serve me well in both flying a ship and in first person, and if anything else the game wants to throw at me from a different genre of game. I really like the Nyth, and I think that came across. I would, however, like a cheaper version of it, without all the lighting effects. Peripherals that improve your gaming experience are really important to me, but so is cost. And the mouse is kind of worth it if you do have the extra $1. Anyway guys, I hope that was helpful. If you're looking to pick up a Nyth, I'll drop a link in the description, but Amazon and eBay are always good bets. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, it really does help me, and I'll see you in the verse.